This week's episode is sponsored by Helio Gas Detection.
They should have done that one on the beach. That should have been the beach video.
That should have been the beach video, right? And we were initially thinking of doing something like that again, but it was like, nah, it's too similar.
We went out to Howth for the day, but it was a complete washout, and we weren't going to film footage on. We weren't going to do that, but we were going to get some little bits. But it was a rough day, that was, and most of the footage was a bit grainy.
We picked the windiest day ever. We were initially
that was so bad.
Initially, the plan was to get the boat over to Ireland's Eye and then film stuff over there. And the wind was so bad. The wind was so bad that there was no boats going over. Not a chance. There was waves being.
Do you remember the waves crashing over the
harbour wall,
onto the walkway of the harbour and all? I've never seen it like that. Like the whole harbour was drowned.
And then we went for a walk around the cliffs to get some clips.
They were great. They worked well.
Works. Yeah, works.
Yeah, Marcelo managed to salvage the footage, really, because we looked at the footage and we were like, this footage is useless because there was such a glare, like such an intense glare coming from the sky, reflecting onto the sea and stuff. We're like, geez, we cannot use this. So I think
so much particles going around from the wind.
Yeah,
it was yeah.
So yeah, some of it ended up in there, but we plan to use way more of that, right?
Yeah, we did originally.
Yeah,
we did originally.
It's a good learning curve.
That should have been a summer video.
But I'm glad you chose it as a single.
Yeah, this was one of the things, right? We were thinking about another song because the album has other songs that are like non-short songs, but they have like 4 minutes and 5 minutes something. Yeah. And we were thinking to do the same again, but we already had 2 singles that were on this time, right? And we say, why not release as you said, Richie, an Uragh song?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
9 minutes and a half. Why not a single?
Yeah.
But it's
I wasn't sure about that as a single originally.
You know, with the current climate of like how things are in music, you know, like attention spans getting shorter, and you know, it's funny. You really have to adapt your expectation or adjust your expectations a little bit with the single, because obviously people. It's hard enough to already get people to actually listen and engage with it, right? Yeah. And then when you release a 9.5 minute track, you know, you can tell like it's definitely more challenging to get views and people to engage with it on Spotify and stuff like that. So you really have to.
And you're dead right, Seb. But I'll also counter that by saying that you wrote a challenging song for the listener to enjoy, so he will listen because there's no fucking boring riffs. There's so much going on with it. Like I think that's the selling point of the song.
Yeah, you know? It keeps the ear interested.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. Okay.
I agree. Sorry, just on that point, like that was a big thing for a lot of we're making is something we would listen to. You know, it's something that I'd actually. If I wasn't in the band, I'd certainly it'd catch my attention, you know. Even when Marcelo first presented these, you know, they caught us. I think that that's important when you're when you're in a band, you know.
Yeah, but just to add for this, even though the process of writing all of this comes like this, we have some sort of demo, and then sometimes we change a lot, sometimes not that much. Even in the demo or some of this was always a proposal for the band, was like, let's form the band and let's meet each other, let's learn about each other tastes and what everyone likes to,
Yeah,
how they like to play. And this would like foment the creative process, because now after the second
Hun-
song, whenever we're like writing something, even if it was just me trying to come up with some ideas, I was thinking about Jason, Craig, Seb,
Yeah.
and
100%, man.
yeah, and
No, that's
then
very, it's
so
very
much easier to
important.
bring this, and they change this and other bits because it was already making sense for them.
Yeah.
Hmm. No, it makes sense. No, 100%.
The next track again, you calm things down. An Tro
Follow.
yeah. Let's talk about the writing of this in relation to it's a mood changer, first and foremost. It engages the listener in a different level. It's almost like dreamlike. And again, I welcome that in an album. It's almost like a time for reflection of the previous tracks and how you're going to finish out the album is the way I'd look at that. Any of you want to take that?
I think Marcelo is probably the best one for this.
Yeah, so this one, if you notice this, the main riff is basically capsize theme reversed on a loop.
Yeah.
Then I had this idea for a while, but it was just like an idea. And then I took some vacations last year, and I was just like wandering around by myself by the area where I was, and I don't know, this just popped in my head and it stuck with me until I went back here to Dublin. And yeah, and then I just tried to execute something with the loop, have this as a reverse loop, came up with some notes, and then everyone liked it, and we completed all the main ideas, everyone together in the studio. Yeah, that was it.
And the lyrics, Craig.
Yeah, so the lyrics are Irish, and it is the last verse of Capsize translated into Irish.
Okay.
And how we got that is Seb's partner, again, we're mentioning her again, Seb's partner's mother, originally from Donegal, she's a fluent Irish speaker. Okay. So Seb had to ask her, okay, here's the verse, can you translate it?
Yeah, because obviously me and you, Craig, we've been through the Irish school system, and we obviously have fuck all Irish, like, so.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
I think
I'm right.
I think Seb can explain it a bit more than I can.
Yeah, she was an Irish teacher actually all her life in secondary school, and she's from a Gaeltacht in New Gweedore in Donegal. So she's very passionate about the Irish language. It's like one of her things in life, and yeah, she's also into poetry a lot and Irish poetry as well. So she seemed like ideal to ask.
Perfect.
That's really so she took it really seriously, she was, she's almost 80 now, right? So I still haven't showed her the track. Can't wait to do that actually. She'll be she has a very good ear, and she'll be, I guess, somewhat critical of Greg's pronunciations and stuff. It's gonna be interesting because I think collectively maybe this is the song we're all the most nervous about, kind of, because doing a song in the Irish language, you don't really want to mess it up. You want to do the language justice.
It's another point that I admire deeply about you, is that you're prepared to fucking take those challenges, and especially from Marcelo and Seb's point of view, just to embrace the Irish culture and give it a nod there and hand it over to Craig. Then
I think it sounded great.
It sounds great. And again, it captures, as I said, it's like dreamlike, and it captures another essence of the band that's culturally from an Irishman. Fuck it, thumbs up, lads, for attempting it. And I think myself, we'll wait and see what other people's reactions will be to it.
Yeah.
But I think, you
But
got it right. Like,
hopefully I'll get away with it, because every single county in Ireland has their own
of course,
native tongue, so
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
fine. But
Yeah.
I remember sending the audio track that his partner's mother sent on to me, and in it she says words in two different ways sometimes, just for pronunciation wise, to give me an option how to pronounce something, which was really nice. And what I did was I don't know how many times I listened to the track. I just broke it down line by line, and then I typed out what I thought, what I heard, whether that be in English, Irish here, English here, how I would pronounce the Irish words.
Yeah.
So, and I think it works.
Yeah.
Okay, let's give it a blast anyway. Okay, track 7, another favourite of mine, Regrowth at the Mouth of Sickness. I mean, the title alone is really interesting. This is my Black Sabbath type labelling of ye lads. Really.
It's a chunky one, isn't it? It's hefty. It's hefty.
It's fantastic. I love it. And I think one of Marcelo's favourite bits for me in the album is that solo.
Oh yeah,
that
yeah,
solo
yeah.
is beautiful. Yeah. It is actually.
I can't wait to play that live. We haven't played it live yet.
It's the only song we haven't played live.
It's the only song
Eager to play it live, but we
Yeah.
want to hold it back as well.
We want people to be able to listen to something that hasn't been played live on the album. That's
Yes.
why we haven't
Yeah.
played it live yet.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. But this was it was a straightforward enough one for me anyway. I had a few, maybe a week or so to learn it, but a smooth recording process as well.
Yeah, this was one of the last ones, right? So you're taking for granted because the improvements from the other ones made it easier for us to learn and master the songs, right? Because it's also tricky, right?
There are tricky bits to it. Comparatively, it's like when you're up here on difficulty and you come down here, it's still difficult, but
Mixing wise, this took a few revisions, right?
Yeah. And for us playing, I guess it was getting the dynamics right, quiet and loud and the tempo, actually we were playing it too fast sometimes, and I remember Craig was
this is definitely one of those tracks that I was referring to earlier. That was there any tracks that you actually had to slow down or bring up a pace? So that's one of them. Okay, that makes sense to me as a listener. It does.
Yeah, because like if you play that intro, it's kind of a plodding kind of has like a certain pace to it, and if you go
Sabbaty, it's
Tony Iommi. If you go a little bit over that, it takes away from it.
Yeah, absolutely agree.
Pacing is very important with this one.
Okay. Joster's production shines through there, doesn't it, lads?
Yeah.
100%, man. No,
Yeah.
it's sounding delighted with how that one turned out.
What I like as well is room to breathe with the instruments. You're not clogging it up with needless guitar rhythms for certain tracks, especially, but this one is just perfectly executed, especially, as I said, Marcelo's solo and Craig coming in on the back of it.
Yeah, sometimes less is more, isn't it?
It is, absolutely, yeah.
I'm extremely proud of that section.
Yeah.
Like from that section till the very end.
Yes. Yeah.
I seriously can't wait to see what a crowd or how a crowd reacts to that song.
Yeah.
It's
that section you chose is very Deftones inspired, I feel as well, because me and Marcelo have our Deftones obsession a bit.
Yeah.
And I like that as well, because I came up with a nice little ostinato on the ride, and with the click on the snare as well. I was very happy.
Again, like I could just jump into a load of different sections with each song, and that's to your credit, but like that section just showcases how good you all are individually. Seb, you were going to say something about before I jumped into the track.
Yeah. I mean, the song was easy enough to learn and to play and stuff, but I think from the album, it actually was the most challenging song to mix, right?
Okay.
That song took so many revisions, and it took ages to get that song just sounding right.
No, but this was the song that settled the mix. So maybe this is what you're saying also, right? Because the final mix came after we said, okay, now Regrowth is sounding excellent.
That's our template.
That was it, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I just remember it was like, oh my God, we must have driven like Josh crazy with that one.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, we're testing Josh a bit. Definitely.
Yeah.
Because Josh is a person with a lot of patience.
Oh geez.
Yeah. Thanks, Josh.
Just fill his veins with fucking Red Bull and he's fine, he's ready to go. That's it.
Look, it's a standout track for me on this album. Okay, track 8, El Cazador. Who wants to take that and just talk about the creation of it? Marcelo, I suppose maybe just start with that. What kind of riffs were you working with in relation to this song?
Yeah. So this one was straightforward. Like we, in the order, now that I remember, we are just have a few long songs, and just thought about let's have like straightforward song. I was listening to a lot of Dead Label that time, and was an influence for this song.
Okay.
And also I remember I was listening also to some black metal, even though there is not much there, or more experimental metal. In the earlier part of the song, there is quite a lot of Deathspell, Omega, and stuff. But yeah, for the heaviest parts, I remember clearly I was thinking about Dead Label. And then that was it.
Yeah.
For me, for El Cazador, when I first listened to El Cazador, comparing it to the rest of our songs, I thought it was very, I don't want to say plain. It didn't have as much for me. It was weird comparing lyrics, melody-wise, to everything else in the album. You know, it was so straightforward. I wrote it about. I felt as if, like, listening to it first, I wanted to write it about being hunted by something, or being chased by something.
Right, yeah.
And so I watched, I revisited the first Predator movie and started getting a bit of inspiration from Predator. And there's a few lines in it as well from Predator. If you do your homework, you'll hear that.
Cool. No, I didn't know that. Deadly. And now, drumming wise, there's one bit in it that I still struggle with, and it's the triplet diddle it diddle it diddle it diddle it. I still have problems with that part. It's kind of it's not a particularly complex part. It's just there's a lot of.
It's a quick gallop, right?
Yes, this part, the gallop part. It's like three notes on the on the bass drum going, and it's quite challenging. It's more challenging than it seems.
Okay, I wonder did
But,
I pick that
was
section?
my main.
Oh,
Let's see.
I hope you did.
Trapped, yet I can't shoot around. More on the stations, blinding at the nail for a moment. Release to see if you can't survive. I'm a stand silent, sweat filling up the brow. The clacking of chains on teeth screams echoing on distance. Rising, hands are shaking. There may be running. Let's say you're trying. Between the trees, the leaves and the thickest moon, disappearing eyes. Amongst the rain and blood.
There you go. Another banger live, lads.
Yeah,
a fun song to play.
definitely.
Definitely a fun song to play live.
Yeah, that was part right there. Yeah, that was the exact part.
Yeah.
I still have little bits of anxiety when we're playing that song for that part. But so far, I haven't messed it up too much.
We all trust you, Jay. We all trust you, man.
Cheers, lad. Appreciate it.
And the obvious one was always going to be Mo Dia Ma at the end. There's no way it couldn't end the album, really. Sure couldn't, lads?
No, absolute
It,
seminal, very important song for us. Very important.
I think it's a song that really we're delighted that it's the last song in the album because it makes you reflect upon what you just listened to. As a whole, the song itself, I always say the song itself is a journey because it's 10.5 minutes long. But the very, very end of it, it makes you reflect upon not only the song, but hopefully the whole album itself as well.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
like just
That's a very important song for us.
yeah.
Remember, like, I know you don't watch our videos back, Craig, but
As much. Yeah.
I watch them a lot to learn, you know. But the first time when we played that, I think that helped. That particular performance in Fibbers, it really kind of, I'm watching that video, I could see it really hit people as much as it hit us the first time we heard it.
Captivate
You
people.
know, yeah, you know,
Takes them in.
you can really see that, and I think that's that one of our more important songs, you know, in getting people into us.
Yeah.
And it means a lot to me. Yeah, it means a lot to me, that song.
You mentioned it in the first podcast with you, that this was the song that set us on our path in a way, you know.
Correct.
That where we found ourselves and we knew this was kind of like the path we wanted to pursue. So I think, yeah, as a song, it's like our defining kind of song for sure.
Yeah.
This was the first
100%.
song that from the album, right? Like the last song on the album, but this was the first song from all the ones that are in the album that we
learned.
Yeah. This is
And we played.
play.
this is a song that was in the original 4 demos that we had
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
very start. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is one of them. Yeah, it kind of stuck with us.
We were rehearsing. I still remember the feeling of we went back and then we just started playing, and there was the calm part and then the tricky part, and it was just working. And I remember I smiling. Okay.
Yeah, I remember that. There was a moment in that when we jammed it the first time. Goosebumps, you know.
Yeah.
We hadn't played that song in ages, and we just
No.
watched it again. And the first time it was a bit shaky, and it took us like a while to pull it back together. And then the second time when it flowed again, and we were all like, it just reminded us of that magic, that spark came on again. And
Exactly.
That's what you want. Okay, I'll play an excerpt of it.
But this struggle goes on till the
Unreal. Okay, Craig, as a lyricalist, the average fan, I would say, would find great comfort in your lyrics. You know, and that's a huge thing to have. It's a gift, man. So I mean, congratulations on that, dude.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. That song came from a bit of a dark time. It was just mentally it wasn't great for a few weeks, but came out of it, thankfully, with a really, really good song that I'm very proud of, and I do reflect on the song a lot. And
sometimes those dark moments can be very inspirational.
Yeah, I mean, it shines the light through things, you know, what really comes through.
Yeah.
And no, that song, I think it's special to all of us in all departments, for whether lyrically, vocally, musically,
you know, in a metal context, when I first heard those lyrics, and you know, I mean, I didn't know Craig that well, right? And then kind of like, and it feels better, you know? Is he serious here? Is this like a positive affirmation? Like, because, you know, we're metalheads. Like, we gloom and death.
Yeah.
And someone,
yeah.
What does Tap say? Death sells, you know? So he hears someone saying, like, it feels better, and like,
refreshing.
It is refreshing. It was, to me, it was totally, it blew me away.
Me
like,
too.
Jesus,
Me
like,
too, man.
He's sincere. He's sincere with this. He
Yeah.
fucking means it. Getting hit a light, this is like hope. And like, for me, in a metal context, I feel this is very courageous thing to do. Like, he's very courageous with those lyrics.
Well put, man. Well put.
Yeah, emotionally,
Very
the whole song, it connects again with the listener in so many levels, and that's all you want as a listener as well. Just connections musically. It brings you on a journey, and this song is all about a journey, man. And you know, even the outro sequence is beautiful. It's almost like a hymn. It's like Orion, Cthulhu. It's what we all love when we were young, listening to these epic songs that just finish so perfectly at the end, and a fantastic way to cap off an amazing album, lads.
I also think in that song, that whole song, I wanted to let the instruments in as well. I want to, as you said earlier, in another song, I can't remember what song it was, we let sections of certain songs breathe and give them room. But this song, that very, very end section, it needs nothing else. Like, I know you didn't play the very, very end section, the very outro section. When people listen to that, I think they'll understand when they really, really listen to it. And seeing it live, it's just, like I remember there's been a few times where I've gotten a little teary-eyed.
Yeah.
Listen, playing that one, like, seriously, it's definitely brings up things. It makes you reflect upon. Yeah, it's powerful.
Me too.
It's a challenge. When I first heard the demo of this, it was intimidating as hell, just because the sheer length of it, mixing the clean parts with the heavy parts. But yeah, thankfully, I think we all agree that it comes together, pieced together very, very well, and we all.
I'm very happy with it.
Yeah. It's the perfect bookend to an amazing album, lads. And thanks for taking the time to come on the show and explain all the songs to us.
Thank you very much.
No worries. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Arranging all that.
It was nice to have this chat about it. I mean,
yeah,
we haven't put much thought into it since we've recorded it. So
the album launch is on May the 31st with brilliant support. Do you want to give a shout out to one of my favorite Irish bands there?
Marcelo's wearing the t-shirt.
Yeah, there you go. Yes. Nomadus. Yeah. And who else is supporting ye?
Firefight.
Young fellas from Dublin, really, really cool young lads. And
they're a good band.
They do kind of
some grungy stuff.
Heavy hard rock kind of band, grungy kind of band, yeah.
Grunge.
Literally only 19, 20, some of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're looking forward to that show.
Yeah,
we were only talking about during the week. How do we play the album in full? Whether we play it from the way it is laid out in the album, or we mix it up a little bit. But we still need to decide.
It might suit you, Craig, to play it from start to finish rather than dealing with the likes of Apparition at the end or Capsizing.
Get them out of the way. Like.
Get them out of the way early. Yeah,
bring it on.
But yeah, Modea Mott.
Well, the logistics of certain tunings. Some songs are in different tunings.
Yeah,
and how you link them as well.
There's all sorts of things you don't think about. That we didn't think about when we were doing the set list.
Yeah, plenty of time in rehearsals, lads. No pressure.
Exactly.
So that's it, lads. Listen, again, congratulations. It's an album of the year contender all day long. It's something that, you did it yourselves, you did the videos yourself, and you should be proud of that. And as a debut, it'll stand the test of time without a doubt. From my side anyway, and I'm sure there's plenty of people listening here that will 100% agree with me when they hear it. And thanks again for coming on the show. Cheers, boys.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Richie. Thanks for your support, man. Thanks for your support.
Yeah, and crucially, support your local metal scene.